reggae music, sweet reggae worship. Reggae, reggae, love is a reggae beat. Reggae, reggae, something so very sweet. Reggae, reggae, listen to the people say, yeah, yeah. I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae to give the praises that's due to my Father. Because it's more than just music, it's worship. So the worship of His sweet when I use a reggae beat. And this a reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter when a reggae I promote the gospel. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. So hats off to reggae, but more so to Jesus. I wanna give the best to my Savior. In my weakness, He made me strong. No doubt that I love reggae music, but without Jesus, my life seems wrong. There's no reggae to give the praises that's due to my Father. Because it's more than just music, it's worship. So the worship of His sweet. When I use a reggae beat, and this a reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter when a reggae I promote the gospel. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. So hats off to reggae, but more so to Jesus. Little inna this a reggae, me a hail up my king. A youth in a God, him a time he lacing. Fi walk in the next direction of sin. To praise Jehovah is a blessing. Now follow the foolish man and all the nonsense them a chatty. And when you know God and when you really know you're happy, I belong to you. So use me like a vessel, Lord. I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Gospel reggae to give the praises that's due to my Father. Because it's more than just music, it's worship. So the worship of His sweet when I use a reggae beat. And this a reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter when a reggae I promote the gospel. Reggae gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter when it's worship. So hats off to reggae, but more so to Jesus. Reggae, 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 reggae.
My daddy is the king, so I am royalty. Hey, cause once we weren't a people, now we are the people of the Lord. Yeah, in my Father's house is where I'm gonna be. I am living in the royal family. I'm a servant and a son, and the deal's already done. Yes, this is my inheritance. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Let me explain. I can understand why from the outside it just doesn't make any sense. Cause we both know guys like me come from the other side of the fence. They tell me I'm not blood, I say you're absolutely right, I was chosen. Matter of fact, I was bought with His blood, and now I'm seated at the table. In my daddy's house is where I'm gonna be. I'm adopted in the royal family. I'm a son. some sisters and brothers in the family who drive me crazy. Always messing up. How them not get kicked out yet always amaze me. But my Father is always forgiving and full of mercy. And as long as He live it, you'll never find me hungry or thirsty. In my Father's house is where I'm gonna be. There is so much love inside His family. Jesus gave me life and life abundantly. This is my inheritance of the righteous. There remains a rest for me in my daddy's house is where, Jesus' blood has set me free. I'm a servant and a son, and the deal's already done. This is my inheritance right here, right here, right here, right here. My God, in my daddy's house is where I'm gonna be. He has so much space for you and me. I'm a servant and a son, and the deal's already done. This is your inheritance right here, right here, right here, right here. In the house of your Father. Spiritually, oh Lord, spiritually, Jesus picked me up when I was broken, put my pieces back together and mold them, and Him lift me up when I was scroaching. Oh God, I feel Your anointing. Jesus picked me up when I was broken. Me cry till my garments soaking. When Satan stick me up, God's arms were open, so I give Him my life as a token.
I'm looking for a response. So this is not going to be one of those situations where I say good morning and no one answers me. So I'm going to do that again. Good morning, everyone. All right. I would like to once again apologize for our very late start. You know, COVID has plunged us into the online world, and sometimes it is a little bit difficult for us to navigate, but nevertheless, we are here, so we are going to press on as quickly as possible. So I'd like to introduce myself quickly. My name is Danielle Cox. I'm from the Immaculate Conception High School, and I will be your master of ceremony this morning. So first of all, we have to always start anything that we are doing with God. So at this time, I'm going to invite my lovely, lovely schoolmate, Lorena Esco, to give us our opening prayer.
So good. Are you hearing me? Good morning again, everyone. Let us pray. Dear most righteous and compassionate Father, I thank You for bringing us here today. I ask that You guide the proceedings of this meeting and that You grant eloquence and clarity of mind to the orators here today. Please take away any bit of nervousness. Thank You for everything that You have done and everything that You are doing. Also, grant journeying mercies to those who are still on their way right now. This and other mercies I pray in Your name. Amen.
All right, thank you so very much, Lorena. So now that the Lord is in our midst, we can definitely press on, knowing that He's going to be here with us. I'd just like to say that it is an absolute pleasure for me to be here with you all this morning. It actually feels like a full circle moment because, you know, a couple of years ago, I was a mini debater in primary school, you know, looking at the judges being so intimidated, looking at my opponents feeling so intimidated, but still doing well nonetheless. So it feels it feels much like an honor to be here this morning. So, with that out of the way, I would like to introduce our first individual who will come up here to give us greetings. And this is going to be a beautiful Immaculate Conception High School alumna. Her name is Mrs. Kim Mayer, Chief Executive Officer of the JMMB Joan Duncan Foundation. So without any further ado, Mrs. Mayer.
Good morning, Master of Ceremonies. I bring greetings also to the Ministry of Education, who should be joining us online. Our patron, Douglas Orain, who I believe will be online also. Our judges, our finalists, specially invited guests, parents, guardians, teachers, everybody who is tuning in on the Institute of Jamaica's YouTube channel. Yes, we're going national. We have the National Child Month Committee Facebook page too, and we are on Zoom. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Well, anything that's missing, they'll add in as we go along. The JMB Joan Duncan Foundation is very pleased to partner with the National Child Month Committee and the members of the organizing committee of the National Youth Forum for today's Youth Forum Debate Competition Finals. We're looking forward to very spirited debates as the students explore and examine embracing the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment. I think this very much reflects our current reality, and it ties in beautifully with the theme of National Youth Month, which is Evolve. And I really believe that this is a time for a call to action and an opportunity for young people to evolve. Evolve in academic and business pursuits, in health and wellness areas, in family and relationships, as we all strive to be the best versions of ourselves. And how do we evolve? I'm going to use the word as an acronym, and I'm going to suggest the following. We need to engage. We need to value each other's perspectives. We need to own our outcomes. We need to lead. We need to volunteer, and we need to excel. How do we engage? We need to engage the youth in the discussion so that their voices can be heard, so that they can participate in issues that are relevant to them. Our young people have much to offer in ways of expertise, innovation, vigor, and exuberance. So I think we need to encourage and engage them in meaningful ways so that they too can evaluate our societal issues and help in creating solutions, because they're going to be our future. V, value each other's perspective. It is sometimes tempting to place more value on experience or wisdom, us old people. However, I would want to encourage us to be balanced in our approach by allowing youth not just to share their views, which we're going to do today, but we also need to value the views. We need to give it due merit, because many of today's innovations have been led by the youth. We have the classical example of a young Mark Zuckerberg who came up with Facebook, now called Meta. And locally we have examples of a Gordon Swaby, who through his company Edufocal has helped to bridge the gap in learning loss by providing an alternate solution online that is more engaging and accessible right here in Jamaica. So if we don't listen and respect each other's ideas and perspectives and allow young people to be part of this discussion and value their views, then we're going to miss some really amazing opportunities and results. Oh, we need to own the outcome, guys. With great responsibility comes great accountability. You have to own the outcome. Therefore, you have to take ownership of the future that you want to create by being possibility thinkers and eliminating disempowering beliefs. Historically, it is the youth who have inspired and executed the greatest changes in societies. And it is the youth who will either benefit or pay the price for any decisions we make now. So you gotta own the outcome. Lead. The present and the future belongs to the youth. because, us old people, no. Each one of you can and must lead to cause the change that you want to see. It is also important that we provide the care, support, guidance, and resources to help young people thrive and take their place in society as our future leaders. V, volunteer. Share your time, your talent, your treasures, because in return you're going to gain work experience, broaden your skills, develop new interests, and become more involved with the community. And the last E is to excel in excellence. Pursue excellence in all that you do, recognizing that perfection may not be achieved, but set a high standard for yourself and live by those standards. This mindset of excellence will allow you to make a path even when none exists, because we know that we all have greatness in us and we need to tap into that. So in closing, the GMB Joan Duncan Foundation is delighted to support this year's Youth Forum as it presents an opportunity to engage with and hear from youth, ensuring that they are represented at the table as we seek to create a better society and make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. And I charge you all today to evolve. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much, Mrs. Mayor, for that greeting. Debaters, presenters, I hope you're not only focused on your speech and focused on getting it right, focused on winning, but to pick out every tiny, big, small, whatever size it is, gem. Any little gem or quote that you can walk away with today, tuck it away in your minds, because I'm sure it is going to come back and it will help you. At this time, we're going to have our welcome and overview by Dr. Pauline Mullings, the chairman of the National Child Month Committee.
Thank you, Madam MC. Wow, wow, wow. We have begun. Our apologies went out. Just want to extend it that we did have serious challenges, but we are here and we are moving right along. Before I say anything else, I want all our young people everywhere, Facebook, IOJ page, YouTube, Ministry of Education, Zoom, to join with me and the young people here too in singing this song, because I believe in it so much, and we sing it at all our youth forum. I am a promise. I am a promise. I am a possibility. I am a promise with a capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality. Oh yes. And I am learning to hear God's voice, and I'm trying to make the right choice. I am a promise to be anything God wants me to be. You got to do better than that. I'm not a singer. Promise. I am a possibility. I am a promise. Oh, with a capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality. Oh yes. And I'm learning to hear God's voice, and I'm trying to make the right choice. I am a promise to be anything God wants me to be. Yes, young people, you are a promise. And that's why we're having our youth forum. Praise the Lord. Amen. Honorable Minister Favor Williams, MP, Minister of Education, Youth and Information, and the other team members from the ministry, JMMB, Joan Duncan Foundation, represented today by Mrs. Kim Mayer, our CEO. The National Child Month Committee members, you're all over, very busy, but you're here. Our patron, Honorable Douglas Orain, our judges, our fine and patient judges, Mr. Fabian Thomas, Miss June Thompson, Miss Nadine Sinclair, our able Master of Ceremony, Miss Danielle Cox, student from Immaculate Conception High School, our debaters, other persons who are involved, our parents, guardians, teachers, those tuning in on live stream on the Institute of Jamaica YouTube channel, and on the National Child Month Committee Facebook page, and on Zoom. I take this opportunity this morning to bid you our warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining and sharing with us. Today is indeed a very special day, not just for us here, but for our young people. Youth Month, the month of November. Youth Forum, today. We are so excited about our young people and what God is doing in your lives. Today we can truly say that not only are we hearing negative things about our youth, but you are a representative of the positive things that we know and see and hear and feel coming from our youth. We are delighted and we are excited. Our National Youth Forum started in 2009. Our objective? That our young people be given the opportunity to express their fears and concern about what is happening in our nation and its impact on them. It is at this forum that our young people share their ideas of possible interventions that could make positive changes. And so annually, this is something that we do. Yes, we have done it in different formats over and over. COVID has pushed us into a box that we choose to open wide so that we can, at least have experience from it and we can use it in a positive way. And so we have never had a debating competition before, but here we are, and we have young persons who have accepted the challenge. And so our theme for 2021, I soar. I strive to overcome adversity with resilience. Special thanks to our lead sponsors, Grace Kennedy and National Baking Company Foundation. A big, big, big thank you to JMMB, Joan Duncan Foundation. They are the sponsors of this event today. And let me tell you, it does take cash to care. This event, as simple as it is, it costs. But we are thankful that they came on board and they have made such a great contribution. I take this opportunity to thank in a very special way the subcommittee of the National Child Month Committee, chaired by Mrs. Michelle Golden Hilton, and the others who work so hard to gel everything and to have us going here today. I welcome each and every one, and I just want to say to our debaters, relax. You can do it. That's why you're here. You have it inside of you. What we want you to do is to come up here and show it off. Just remember that's what you're doing. You are showing off what you already have. We can't wait to hear you. Thank you all for being here. We look forward to a productive morning. I thank you.
You know, if it's one thing COVID has taught me is that, you see, these people who always come up after somebody speaks to sanitize, they're the real MVPs of any event. So we have to ensure that they do not go unnoticed because their job is not easy and it's very tedious, all right? So right now we are going to have another greeting by the Honorable Douglas Orain. I get to understand that this is a pre-recording. So I'd like to hope that that is ready, and So I'd like to hope that that is ready, and we can have that now. Okay, it is. So please fix your eyes too. I believe it's the screen, so we can hear. We're just gonna have to listen for this one then. So ensure your ears are peeled, all right? Oh, he is the patron of Child Month. That is who we'll be hearing from at this time.
Friends, I'm Douglas Orain, the patron of Child Month. What a pleasure it is. I am recording this at a time of evening when I am surrounded by the sound of nature, whistling frogs. What a wonderful country we have with the beauty of nature. Let us appreciate and be joyful for living in such a blessed country. I'm delighted with the forum of the Youth Forum this year, a debate which will help to hone your skills in self-expression. Let me share a story from my childhood. I was so shy, I hardly used to speak to anyone, especially strangers. In my mid-teens, I said to myself, Douglas, this can't go on like this. Enough is enough. And I then decided to take up every opportunity to practice public speaking. It worked, and I've never looked back since. Now people say, you were an introvert? I can't believe that. And I say, all things are possible once there is a will. So make the most of this event today and for the rest of your life as you build your self-confidence and your command of the English language. I wish you all the best.
All right, we want to thank our patron, the Honorable Douglas Orain, for those encouraging words. So at this time, I don't know about you, but I know that I love music very, 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 very much. At this time, we're going to have a song by Miss Toshtika Sang, who is a vocalist, and she'll be doing for us Reach. And you'll have to listen to that one as well.
Some dreams live on in time forever. Those dreams you want with all your heart. So I'll do whatever it takes.
have to give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I do a little singing here and there, but that is nothing compared to what we just heard a while ago. The notes that I heard, the harmonies that I heard, the control that I heard, absolutely beautiful. So we want to thank Miss Toshtika Sang for that lovely, lovely song. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving very quickly along. So first of all, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 debaters over here, right? They look very nervous. Say hi. How are you all doing today? Talking to you guys. Hi, hello. All right. I see 4 of them over there, and I just want to personally congratulate each and every single one of you for getting to the finals. I believe that they deserve a round of applause. From my days doing debating, I understand that it is not something very simple, especially as a young person. It's not easy to go up there and to speak as best as possible. So I really want to lift my hat to you guys for doing so well. So before we go into the presentations, we have to do something very important. We're going to be introducing our judges at this time. Now I know you see 3 very important looking people sitting right here. So now you're gonna have some information about them at this time. So the first person I'm going to introduce is Mrs. June Thompson. She is a retired teacher and principal who contributed 43 years to education. Ladies and gentlemen, 43 years is not nothing simple. So we're gonna clap her for that. She started her tenure at Lucy Primary and ending at Orsees High School. She's a deaconess in the Baptist Church, a Kiwanian, and a justice of the peace. Mrs. Thompson has been recognized for her meritorious service in the field of education and was the top principal in Region 4, was named Kiwanian of the Year on several occasions, and as President of the Year, and has received the Godfrey Dwyer and Fred McAllister Awards. She is married to Norman for more than 40 years and has 6 adult children. Voluntarism and faith that with Jesus we can all smile at the storms are her core beliefs. Let us welcome Mrs. June Thompson. Mrs. Nadine Sinclair. She's a regional coordinator of the JMMB Foundation National Project, Conversations for Greatness, is the chairperson for the Manchester Wellness Foundation, and is outreach lead for Caribbean NGO She Leads IT, and as such leads a very, very busy life. She is, however, supported and kept grounded by her loving husband and 2 fabulous sons. Put your hands together and welcome Mrs. Nadine Sinclair. Now, before we introduce our last judge, I want to just play on something that I see that is recurring in the lives of strong, busy women. We realize that there are strong men in the midst of it to keep them grounded and to keep them sane, so to speak. So I just want to speak to all the young ladies in here. It's a learning experience as we go out in life. This is what we're looking for. I'm just putting that out there, and I know you all are gonna agree with me where that is concerned. So lastly, but by no means least, we have Mr. Fabian Thomas, who has made his mark in the humanities with over 20 years of experience as a trainer, facilitator, lecturer, writer, and actor, and a spoken word performer and director. Trained at the University of the West Indies and Fordham University in the USA, Mr. Thompson holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications and a Master of Arts degree in Public Communications. His training, coupled with his work in the arts, provide vehicles for delivering a wide range of workshops to address a number of topics to his varied clients. Let us give a rousing applause to Mr. Fabian Thomas. Now, these, ladies and gentlemen, are our capable judges who will adjudicate the presentations. Now, let's just deal with some quick housekeeping matters, and then we're going to get into the good stuff. So, each person is allotted 7 minutes to make his or her presentation, and then you are allotted 3 minutes to rebut your presentation. Now, the moot is, be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youth to embrace the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment. All right. Yeah, man, I would be very nervous, you know. I think this is a very hot topic for the time that we are living in, so I'm very interested to see what our debaters are going to come with. So, to start us off in these presentations, we have Debater number 1, who is Miss Kalia Hardware from the Wolmer Trust High School for Girls. She will be proposing this moot. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome Miss Kalia Hardware. Please ensure that you listen keenly and give her your utmost support.
Good morning, listeners. I am Kalia Hardware, a representative of the Wolmer Trust High School for Girls, and it is a pleasure to participate in the National Child Month Committee debate competition. In March of 2020, the government announced that schools would be closed for 2 weeks due to the spread of COVID-19. 2 weeks turned into 3 and then 4, and before you knew it, our classrooms were virtual. As a student about to embark upon her senior high school years, the uncertainty surrounding education was frightening. We had no choice but to figure it out as we went along. Admittedly, it was troublesome for many students and teachers to adapt to this new system of learning, as they lacked the means to facilitate it, and the ones who did had to face the struggle of acclimating to it. A year and 8 months later, I can say we finally managed to assimilate to the new way of learning. Online education has become our new norm, and so I confidently propose the moot, be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youths to embrace the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment because it enriches their tech literacy and provides a basis for STEM exploration. My points are further substantiated by offering solutions to arguments against the moot. Implementing technology into a teaching and learning environment is expensive, and students with unique learning styles would be left behind. I will present counter-arguments to indicate that the online experience caters more to our diverse learning habits, and if properly funded by our government and non-government organizations, every child can learn online. To fully grasp the meaning of the moot, I will be defending some key terms found in the Oxford Online Dictionary. Firstly, the term pandemic can be defined as a disease outbreak spanning a large geographical area. The next term to be determined is teaching and learning environment. A teaching and learning environment is any place in which the distribution and acquisition of knowledge takes place. Lastly, technology refers to the scientific knowledge used in practical ways in industry. Bearing these definitions in mind, I propose that the situation surrounding the global outbreak of COVID-19 have prepared students to use practical scientific knowledge and devices in the distribution and acquisition of knowledge. Firstly, the youth are prepared to embrace technology in the teaching and learning environment by enriching their tech literacy. Technological literacy is the ability to use, manage, understand, and assess technology. Technology is currently the primary medium for transmitting informational content in our educational institutions. As our society evolves, we move closer and closer to a tech-based environment, with most professions requiring their employees to possess some level of digital manipulation skills. According to Burning Glass Technologies, 82% of middle-skill jobs require digital skills. Because of this, today's youth must enhance their tech literacy to be able to navigate society effectively. Currently, we are in a situation where learning basic technological skills is inescapable. Daily, students have to interact with numerous software to complete their assignments, whether it be word processing software like Microsoft Word or Google Documents, presentation software like Google Slides or Canva, or animation software like Scratch or Adobe Photoshop. By constantly utilizing these resources, students inevitably strengthen their tech literacy abilities. Secondly, through this newfound literacy, students can explore different interests or resources in STEM. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and centers around innovation, problem solving, and improving society. Simply put, STEM is the vehicle for technological advancements within our society. In developing into a techno-based environment, it is crucial to have young pioneers working in these areas. And web-based learning allows students to explore opportunities that were not as readily available in face-to-face learning. Having technology incorporated as a means of education has opened up many youths to the basis of exploration in STEM areas, thus encouraging them to pursue careers in STEM, the way of the future. Having elaborated on the reasons for supporting the moot, it would be foolhardy not to consider counter-arguments that naysayers attempt to throw our way in opposition to the drive towards technology in schools. A common argument against embracing technology in teaching and learning is that it is expensive and contributes to the digital divide. The problem here lies with the resources used to facilitate the technology and not the technology itself. This problem could be rectified if the government and non-government organizations invest in educational technology and provide resources such as stable internet connection and electricity to families unable to access them. These organizations could also equip community centers with trained personnel to manage users according to social distancing protocols. Using this solution, the burden of the cost is not solely placed on the families. This is a collaborative effort, and with the support of the government and NGOs, it is entirely possible to achieve. Another argument against embracing technology in a teaching and learning environment is that it is not compatible with every student's learning style, claiming that some students' academic performances have been negatively affected due to online learning. I disagree with this position because the vast array of software available makes it easier to cater to unique learning styles, such as auditory, audiovisual, kinesthetic, and reading and writing learning styles. Auditory learners are appealed to the most in traditional classrooms, making it hard for other students with different learning styles to engage with the material on an online platform. With interacting learning websites like Kahoot, Khan Academy, Duolingo, etc., students of various learning styles are more encouraged to meaningfully connect with the learning material. The school's responsibility is to introduce and train teachers to incorporate these resources in lessons to appeal to the students' varying needs. In conclusion, the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youths to embrace technology in the teaching and learning environment by enriching their tech literacy and providing a basis for them to explore areas in STEM. My stance is further supported by refuting arguments that state tech-based learning is expensive and hinders learning for students with unique learning styles. My counter-argument states that the online experience caters more to our varied learning habits, and if properly funded by our government and non-government organizations, every child can learn online. Thank you.
School opposing the moot. Now, this moot doesn't really look so easy to oppose, so I'm interested to hear what he's going to come with. So, sir, the floor is yours.
Be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youth to embrace the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment. Is it? Think about it. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Alexander Green, a senior student of the Muschett High School. As I put forth my stance with crucial arguments, please let me restate the move for clarity on the subject matter. Be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are creating more challenges for the youths as we attempt to use technology in the teaching and learning environment. The latitude of my argument will be centered on these salient points: child rights infringement, access to technology, psychological trauma or distress from the pandemic. To begin with, the given moot does have some merit, however, but the marginality of said moot is too vast, and thus the challenges far outweigh the benefits. As a result, preparation is lacking or almost non-existent. Chiefly, according to vocabulary.com, to prepare is the cognitive process of thinking about what you will do in the event of something happening. In the short to make someone are ready or able to do or deal with something. Consequently, we are horrified by the circumstances of the pandemic that we are trying to learn through. On the contrary, every child can learn, every child must learn. Isn't that the slogan of the Ministry of Education that is designed to drive us into 2030? I wonder if the gaps between the elites and the minority grouping, the poor and indigent, are shrinking, and I'm not able to see the same. Child rights infringement, as posted by the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child 1990, ratified 1991. Article 27 shares that education should develop each child's personality and talent to the fullest. Can these inanimate meats via technology create wholesome students? Pondered on that a bit. Moreover, the convention with Article 29 clearly stated that children have the right to a standard of living that is good enough to meet their physical and mental needs. With hundreds losing their jobs, how can the circumstances around the pandemic prepare the youths? They are more concerned with the mind-boggling thought of where the next meal will come from. The frustration caused by thrusting us online March 13 was heart-wrenching. Drastically, access to technology, i.e. the internet and devices for learning, will be examined keenly. How can the youths embrace something that they do not have access to? Reasons for this: the Ministry of Education has estimated that 120,000 students were unable to take up online instruction for many reasons in the last academic year, which include, but is not limited to, not having an electronic device or internet access to attend classes since the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted school last year, March. My God, 120,000 minds lay wait idle? Most devastating. United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, UNICEF 2020, asserts that Jamaica stands to lose 1.3 years in learning, adjusted years of schooling, or an average annual earning loss per student of US $1,099, which aggregates to a total lifetime earning loss of US $5.5 billion, a third of Jamaica's GDP. Even if I'm no good at math, that is a lot of money. Contrastingly, the students' behavior before the pandemic have gotten more rampant without the teachers being physically present. Considerably, the youths are still mostly interested in the social media platforms. They are still not submitting their assignments, even though they are online and they being digitally truants. However, they are still able to find movies and other stuff online, but they still find it hard to navigate the learning tool. My noble opponents may add that, as a student, the hassle of commuting is no longer a factor. The likelihood of being abducted is a lesson due to learning from home. Even if you even conjure that point, visit St. Thomas. They can even assert that the pandemic has caused students to be more creative. Yes, but to what degree? Can we quantify to qualify it? Significantly, psychological trauma or distress from the pandemic is now under the microscope. Although the impact of COVID-19 have created an online avenue to assist students with psychological challenges in general, it is important to note that during last year, 829 sessions were conducted across 2 child guidance clinics in Kingston and St. Andrew Health Department, not to mention the countless others across the schools and state agencies. To put more simply, over 800,000 children live in Jamaica, and even taking a conservative figure of 15%, nearly 120,000 of them may have a mental disorder, and 5% or 40,000 of them may be suffering from a severe mental disorder, explained Dr. Shetty. A child and adolescent psychiatrist, will this not severely hamper the learning process? Isn't this a key circumstance surrounding COVID-19? It is sad, very sad, that children are faced with grave disturbing challenges to maneuver due to the circumstances surrounding the pandemic. In case they are completely cut off from school due to emotional trauma, there isn't any access to technology in their part of our society. Taking everything into account, the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are creating more challenges for the youths as we attempt to use technology in the teaching and learning environment. The holistic and inclusive environment that we envision to create with every child getting an equal opportunity in teaching and learning isn't very inclusive at best. Be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are creating more challenges for the youth as we attempt to use technology in the teaching and learning environment. I thank you.
Good morning again, listeners. So, in rebuttal to Mr. Green's points that he stated, the first point that I would like to rebut, he mentioned how can students embrace something that they do not have access to? I mentioned this in one of the points, in one of my rebuttal points in my speech, that this has to do with the framework used to support or to facilitate technology rather than a problem with the technology itself. If we provide the resources for this, if we provide the resources for technology, this is something that could entirely be achieved. Another point that I would like to rebut is students are having a hard time navigating online learning. They are not submitting their assignments, so on and so forth. My counter argument is to state we need to analyze why students are distracted or why they're not engaged with the material. Now, to do this, we would have to ask various questions. Is it that the lessons aren't engaging? If so, as I mentioned previously in my speech as well, there are numerous software and online resources to use that teachers could explore to spice up their lessons and to engage their students in. This is a problem, or this is the responsibility of the teachers to find different resources that engages their students, and again, not a problem with the technology itself. And lastly, I wanted to present a counter argument to one of his last points about psychological problems. This is a very unfortunate circumstance that we've been in throughout the pandemic, But again, it is partially the school's responsibility to provide resources that students can access, give them the support that they need, and give them a safe space where they can express themselves and express their emotions. This is the end of my rebuttal. Thank you.
My noble opponent, Ms. Ardway, has stated that if the moot was stated in its pure form, if funded properly by the government, will lessen the challenges. However, this is not so. We are a third world developing country with the limited resources and with a labor force of over 1.5 million out of a population of 2.9 million and counting. Learning basic technology skills is really inescapable, but can you be a part of the drive when you do not have the means to join the party? Think about that one, my opponent. Thank you.
So give them a round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, it's not easy to come up here and do what they did in the manner in which they did it. So we just want to, give you guys a big thumbs up for that. So at this time, we're going to have a poem by Joanna Marie Prince and Gianna Lee Prince.
Hidden smiles under protected. Pandemic changes so fast. People are hurting, frontline workers are fighting, and public servants are crying as cases are rising. And so many people are dying because too many are not listening. Hungry people on the streets, lost their jobs and nothing to eat. This is a serious crisis and we have to learn how to fight this major concern. We have been left. It's as if no one hears our cries. This is about protecting everybody and paving the way to recovery. It is about restoring our healthcare system that is already struggling because of the many cases coming in. As we are facing such a serious crisis, we must come together to fight this. We must work to change our fate. Though we may argue, fight, and aggravate, combine and collaborate, we could do something really great. As we come together, progress comes fast, because today's present is tomorrow's past. Pandemic collaboration. Hidden smiles under protective masks. The pandemic changed us so fast. People are fighting and public servants are crying. Cases are rising. And so many people are dying because too many are not listening. Hungry people on the streets, lost their jobs and nothing to eat. This is a serious crisis and we have to learn how to fight this major concern. We have been left to our own demise. It's as if no one hears our cries. This is about protecting everybody and paving the way to recovery. It is about pandemic collaboration. It is about restoring our healthcare system that is already struggling. As we are facing such a serious crisis, We must come together to fight this. We must work to change our fate. Though we may argue, fight, and aggravate, if we just combine and collaborate, we could do something really great. As we come together, progress comes fast, because today's present is tomorrow's past. Pandemic collaboration. Hidden smiles under protective masks. The pandemic changed us so fast. People.
Gianna Lee Prince for pandemic collaboration. Okay, so we're not gonna clap for that, we're gonna snap, because I guess that's what people do when poems are said, right? Yes. So we want to thank them for that, and indeed the only way we can truly overcome this pandemic is if we collaborate and join our forces. So we're heading into the next stage of our debate. I would like to firstly introduce Dejane Fagan from the Knox College High School, who will be proposing our moot. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dejane.
Be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youths to embrace the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment. Panel of adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, opponent, a pleasant afternoon. I am Dejane Fagan. Whilst the myopic minority will hasten to reject the motion at hand, as a prudent individual and lifelong learner, I unequivocally propose this motion. As the pandemic has thrust youths into embracing 21st century learning, literacy, and life skills. Moreover, the pandemic has intensified countries' efforts in achieving Sustainable Development Goal number 4, ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. However, in order to effectively delineate my stance, permit me to define the key terminologies of the motion, which are circumstances, embrace, preparing, and technology. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines technology as methods, systems, and devices which are the result of scientific knowledge being used for practical purposes, and preparing as the process of making someone or something ready for an activity or event. The Oxford Dictionary defines circumstances as facts or conditions that affect a situation. And finally, embrace is defined as accepting a belief, theory, or change willingly and enthusiastically. The pandemic has irrefutably revolutionized the teaching and learning environment for the better. The information age in which we now live requires our youths to be technologically inclined in order to compete and excel globally. According to an article on sideinmotion.com, technology brings skills, knowledge, process, technique, and tools together to solve our problems and provide answers to our questions. And thus, It has become an essential part of teaching and learning. Upon the arrival of the coronavirus in 2019, many countries had to take stringent measures, such as the implementation of lockdowns, to curtail the spread of the virus. Consequently, school was held virtually via online platforms instead of physically in traditional classroom spaces. Technology provides the youths with access to countless online resources that are essential to their learning. It increases creativity as it allows the youths to express themselves via different platforms whilst monetizing and increasing their educational opportunities. It garners collaboration, communication, and critical thinking skills. During virtual learning, students are propelled to improve their interaction with other peers to successfully complete group assignments through collaborative efforts. They are able to improve communication skills through platforms such as Zoom, which enables them to interact and share ideas, data, and information. In order to navigate multiple software applications, students will need to develop critical thinking skills or will need to improve past skills that they possessed. Through technology, youths are able to connect with peers and share their thoughts without face-to-face interactions. Technology improves the youth's flexibility and productivity skills. With prompt responses to queries and concerns, the youths will waste less time researching. Through manipulating technology, youths will develop flexibility skills. As was mentioned earlier, schools have resorted to virtual learning as a result of the pandemic. The lockdown is the key factor contributing to the new norm, that is virtual learning. Consequently, the youths have accepted learning via technology and have started manipulating it, as it is via technology that virtual learning is enabled. If it were not for the lockdown and the switch to virtual learning, would the youths be this exposed to technology? During this crisis, the youths have adapted to the new norm and accepted the use of technology to not only enhance but also to effectively execute teaching and learning. The lockdown and virtual learning, therefore, are undoubtedly preparing the youths to embrace technology in the teaching and learning environment. Technology has become an integral part of sustaining society, and its infusion with education is therefore inevitable. As such, technology may be integrated into learning post the pandemic. In conclusion, technology plays an essential role in education as it provides multiple virtual learning tools and resources that effectively enhances learning. Hence, embracing it is of paramount importance. The lockdown and the change to virtual learning have undoubtedly begun preparing us to embrace technology in teaching and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is continuously evolving. It is your choice whether or not you want to evolve with it. Thank you.
That was lovely. That was very... Ladies and gentlemen, if it's one thing you have to say about Dijonay, you can't say you never hear. You heard every single word, and that is very, very commendable. So well done, Dijonay. So at this time, we're going to have Akishma Payne from the Hampton School opposing this moot. And we're going to take the same format that we took before. So after her presentation, Dejanay will come back to rebut, and after Dejanay's rebuttal, we'll have Akish rebutting as well. All right, so the stage is yours.
Judges, distinguished guests, and my most worthy opponents, good morning. I am here, good afternoon, sorry. I am here today to oppose the moot, be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youths to embrace the use of technology in the teaching and learning environment. According to the Oxford Languages, to embrace means to accept a belief, theory, or change willingly and enthusiastically. Therefore, the rephrased moot reads, be it resolved that the circumstances surrounding the pandemic are preparing the youth to enthusiastically and willingly accept the modality of online learning and teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, the circumstances surrounding this COVID-19 pandemic are not preparing the youths to willingly and enthusiastically accept the use of technology in the teaching and learning context. This will be demonstrated through my focus on motivation, the digital divide that stems mainly from poverty, and a need for a structured system. Virtual delivery, remote learning, or the digital mode became an imperfect panacea and instructional modality as COVID-19 emerged in late 2019. For educational ministries, teachers, students, and parents, a certain darkness hovered, a near and present threat shook the very foundations of our teaching and learning modes. And we knew that change had arrived with little time to shield our young. There was no time to buckle, and yes, our students benefited from several makeshift platforms, but not nearly enough students can testify to the beneficial effects that the online learning has brought with it. My opponents are of the impression that the sudden and rapid changes in educational technologies will result in an ideal system, but this is not necessarily the case. According to the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, as of 2020, over 600,000 children in Jamaica alone have not accessed schooling since the transition to the online modality. UNESCO also points out that the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and related school closures on the education, provision, learning, and well-being are severe for most children. Several other countries have reported an unprecedented number of students who have disappeared off the radar since they were thrust into the virtual learning due to the pandemic. This due to the cancer of poverty. Problems range from a lack of devices or internet to living in deep rural areas where technology is unheard of. According to data from the OECD, the gap between those who have access to internet or technological devices and those who do not is huge. For example, 95% of students in Switzerland, Norway, and Australia have a computer, but only 34% of students in Indonesia do. In our closest first world neighbor, the United States of America, studies have shown that while almost every 15-year-old from a privileged home has a computer, nearly 25% from disadvantaged backgrounds do not. As such, it is more than evident that such an environment can only potentially be embraced by those wealthy enough to maintain such a high level of living. Just in 2019, NIH assessed how provision of good educational content in proper educational environments would affect the self-esteem and motivation of students. but found that although it raised students' expectations for future education, they still did not maintain their original motivation. How can something so restricting be embraced for long term? In fact, embraced would imply that the online modality for teaching and learning would be preferred over the face-to-face interaction. Would it not? How can we possibly believe that such a permanent setup could be healthy for our youth's mental stability? My opponents will say that there are countless numbers of platforms that can be easily used and accessed in the virtual world to make learning more efficient and effective for the different learning needs of students. With this, I readily agree. However, with all of the Flipgrids, Kahoots, Google Meet, Zoom meetings, you name them, there is nothing to prove that the students themselves are actually engaging with the material. Therefore, the credibility of the work supposedly produced by the students is questionable. How can one embrace a system that unintentionally encourages cheating? Without a doubt, one major benefit that the pandemic has most likely gifted through online school is that students have become more adept with their technological skills and abilities, which they can use in the working world. However, this still creates a great disparity between those who have access to devices that lend themselves to this practice versus students who live in impoverished environments in which they have little to no access to devices. We cannot live in a world where we only cater for a certain class of individuals, which will in turn hurt so many others. I repeat, a loss of over 600,000 students in Jamaica and 200,000 students in Trinidad just in this short period of time since the pandemic started does not show that the youths are being prepared to embrace the use of technology in the learning and teaching environment. Instead, this shows many of our youths becoming victims to an elitist system. How can one embrace something that is substandard or does not cater to all of the stakeholders? Instead, we should look at the online modality as a resource to enhance student education. The Jamaica Observer itself has stated that the prolonged online learning could have a negative effect on childhood development. However, from here on out, the education system can use this pandemic-forced learning experience to help accelerate certain aspects of the physical learning environment that were suffering before, such as the use of educational game applications to make learning more fun and motivating for all ages, or even continuing educational television programs in order to reinforce the concepts that children may have been struggling with during physical class. Let us not get caught up in the newness of virtual learning. Instead, let us remove the blinkers and recognize that this virtual space or superficial bubble has not worked for too many. Remember, one cannot embrace something which they have never experienced or for which the experience has been mentally taxing. Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case.
Judges, I would have listened keenly to the opposition speech, in which there are some contentions that I feel compelled to address. Firstly, the opposition would have argued that the youths cannot embrace technology, seeing that some of them have no access to the internet or devices. However, judges, this pandemic has brought to light our flaws as a nation. It is evident that devices need to be administered to these needy youths, which is a goal the government is working assiduously to achieve under Sustainable Development Goal number 4. as smart, level-headed, objective individuals? Will you, opponents, turn a blind eye to the fact that the majority of youths have been prepared to accept technology in teaching and learning because the minority lacks devices? The very thought of that is utterly absurd. Secondly, it has been argued that this pandemic is affecting the youth's mental health. True, this pandemic has increased stress levels. However, we can all attest to the fact that stress and mental health has been here prior the pandemic, and it will still be here post the pandemic. However, this pandemic has allowed us the opportunity to address the issues of mental health and stress as a nation. I believe I would have done due diligence in executing my points, which are: the pandemic has thrust youths into embracing 21st century learning, literacy, and life skills through technology. It has intensified countries' efforts in ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education through technology, and has made it possible for us to travel to different continents and countries through videos whilst learning, as we are no longer confined to the physical classroom space. 3, it has revolutionized the teaching and learning environment for the better through technology. For this reason, I believe I would have won this debate. With that said, the government rests.
Good afternoon once again. Although I appreciate the proposition's attempt to say that she believes she won this debate, I have a few concerns of my own. You keep referring to Sustainable Development Goal number 4 being reached. However, where is the evidence to say, or the aim is for it to be reached, and that this pandemic has, and technological use of devices for school instead of physical school has allowed us to reach Sustainable Development Goal number 4 better than before? Where is the evidence to state that this is happening? Because we can see, as I have pointed out earlier, that several students are unable to access school. And so, if we are reaching this goal, who exactly is being catered for? Who exactly is being accounted for? And technology in schools has always existed. Your points suggest otherwise, as though we have not been using technology all along. And you also said that students are improving communication skills, pair working, and productivity, as well as flexibility within the school learning environment. However, you did not provide evidence to suggest, to show that this is taking place. As we saw the other day where the young lady drowned in Rio Cobre, her mother would have mentioned how it was a school day, and because they had lack of internet connectivity in their area, she was not able to access class. However, if she was in physical school, that incident would not have happened. Additionally, even in first world nations such as America, we see on CNN News where there are students going to local restaurants such as McDonald's to try and access some of their internet so that they can attend their classes when it was an issue during their time. So I do not see how we can embrace such a scenario on a daily basis. Additionally, I would have also mentioned that technology is not a bad thing inside the school curriculum. We can use it to enhance our learning and enhance how students learn on a daily basis, such as through continuing the educational programs on TV. So I would never say that we should take out technology and that it isn't helping us to bridge that gap between 21st century learning and the olden days ways of doing things. Therefore, I believe that although technology has proven to be difficult, there are still many things that we can do, but technology is not the only way for students to learn and should not be the main way, as there are many challenges that come with it. And for this, I rest my case.
So let's just take a little moment to dwell on that a while ago. Because you know, there's a little stigma attached with females, and, you know, females should be soft-spoken, and females should be ladylike, and females should be quiet. However, I would like to congratulate those two young ladies just now, and I would like to just break down that little barrier right there that is kind of trying to get our young ladies to conform to something that they really should not be. Young ladies should be outspoken, and they should be eloquent while doing so. And if you agree with me that those two young ladies solidified that, they personified that, please give them another round of applause. They spoke with confidence, and they spoke with the utmost clarity, and I am very proud of you, young ladies. So I don't want to be in the position of the judges right now. You see, they look a little scrambled with what would have just happened just now. I do not want to be in their position. So now, with that said, we're going to have some music to give the judges some time to deliberate and to gather their thoughts. So right now, we're going to have a song by Nigel, otherwise known as Nige Boy Hector, who will be singing for us Many Rivers to Cross. And we want our next brother on top of it. So we're bringing back Miss Tosh Tika's song from the beginning, who will be doing Roar by Katy Perry. And of course, those are audio presentations, so you'll just go ahead and listen. Oh, visual as well. Oh, okay, we have the visual up now, so we'll be able to hear and see the individuals.
But I can't seem to find my way over. Wandering I lost as I travel alone. Why peace over? It's only my will that keeps me alive. I've been licked, washed up for years, and I merely survived because of my pride. Oh, this loneliness leaves me alone. Such a drag. just where to begin. I'm paying for time. There are times I find myself thinking of committing some dreadful crime, but I got many rivers to cross. Lord.
I used to bite my tongue on the ground, so I could quietly every night. Yes, sir, I said, but you push me past the break. I still, so I took everything, held me down, but I don't. Oh, yeah, but you know that's hear my voice, like them held me down, but I got up. Yeah, 'cause I had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I'd be right up dancing to the fire, and you're now floating like the butterflies, feeling like the earth. Passing from people to now only me that I got up she is like from the it's ready to see it all. I see now. I've got the eye of the tiger. Listen to the fire, and you're
I'm so glad that I finally got to see the faces, behind those lovely voices. At this time, I am going to invite our main judge. All right, no problem. So our judges are not quite ready as yet, ladies and gentlemen. So you can use this little break to, I don't know if the components, my word. If the opponents want to, get to know each other, if anybody wants to have a conversation, you guys can go ahead and do that while our judges deliberate.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You're gonna hear me roar. Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from 0 to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You're gonna hear me You're gonna hear me I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me Oh, yeah, yeah. I have the heart of a champion, heart of a champion, yeah, yeah. It's my time, it's my place, it's my destiny. No one can take away what was meant for me. My granny said, what for you can be and for you, no man a champion. I have the heart of a champion.
The sun shall not smite I by day, nor the moon by night, nor the pestilence that lurks in dark places, nor destruction that wasteth at noonday. The time hath just come.
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Stare at the sun, I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes to this, I'm blessed, oh man. Ooh. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I'll find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. As
Hey, upset her. See how upset her? On and on and on and on. I'm a winner. You know the dance. I'm a winner. Hey, watch out now. I'm on the sun. Oh, we're winning right now, you say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what me living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. At Thanksgiving right now. Cause we're winning right now, yeah. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Hey, watch out now. Hey, I'm a walking W. Learn from the else. Turn them in a medal in a trophy and belts. Every day you see we with them on the next level. Break records like we crack connections. And every single ounce of effort we expel. It's all about progress cause we have to excel. I watch them looking like success we dress well. Boom. Another knockout for the ring the next spell. I'm about to send my haters a card to get well. Cause I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it, but that's the whole gist of it. I hate it on the beauty when winning and we have it. Cause I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Oh, we're winning right now, you know. I say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what me living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. At Thanksgiving right now, yeah. I say we're winning right now. So every day you see we are the reigning champ. And at the cloud with the silver line we reigning from. Cause if you see some of the places where we're hailing from, it's just the type of place we should be failing from. But now we're winning. Yes, every quarter, every inning. Bolt if I tracks and then I films if I swimming. You know that there's no giving in no matter the circumstances we're living in, you hear me? I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Oh, we're winning right now, you know. I say we're winning right now. Me forget that trophy to what me living right now. Cause I'm winning right now, yeah. And I'm chilling right now. Oh, we're winning right now. Our thanks for giving right now, God. I said we're winning right now.
I know everybody I go like we, still we irie. Come in all love likes, in a dancehall style. I know everybody I go like, still we irie. Come in a love likes, no. So every time I rise, we do it for the love and I do it for the likes. Do it for the love and I do it for the likes. Do it for the love and I do it for the likes. Success don't come overnight. No matter no substance over hype. Do it for the love, and I do it for the life. Enough of them love likes, that's alright. Sit down on a post and I tweet all night. See them on social media type. War like
Me no wanna media guy interpret me wrong. So make me give me credits in a dancehall fashion first. Big up Kalanji and the one Capleton. The Wild Apache and the one Ninja Man. Then big up the Killer and the one Beanie Man. King Yellow Man, Buru Buju Bantan. Early B, Nachinasi Majidan. Me a Jamaican, him sister Diamond. And none of them nobody like Marianne. Ladies, you are real big man. Big up Lady Jika, you are the La Vegan. Big up Dirts, man, and him brother Papa San. Big up Gary Mine, that you don't know what you got done. Big up Canicle, you are the tall Lakatan. Steal it, cleave it, Tony and Dave Kelly. Happy Digital, it and a King Jammy. Exterminate and Sly and Rabbit. Stephen McGregor and Carly Only. Yeah. Big up Suckle and King Bulby. Donovan, Jermaine, Grafton, Mikey. Deep, now the science and I know me ready. All of these Cub Scouts have to talk up to me.
Bushloader. Ready, man? Yeah. Excuse me, no pagans. Now seek validation. Toast and admiration from you nor your patrons. Boasting about name brands. We cost over 8 grand. When me searching up the same one for the cost of a straight pants. Why own a Ferrari with nowhere to park it, boy? Why shop a Louis V when there is a target? Now me hype on my face thing. True minds me a saving. Them go fend if it trendy. Bank account can't empty. Acres over markets. Link me wife when me want sex. Cause when side girl breed up, child support that lead up. Farming over flossing, investment over profit. Inheritance for me seeds up. Me alright being mean. Yo, if you are 50 and never make a brings get used, means you're poor so your kids next to employment you use as a big excuse. You want him grow so him get you. See him 24 hours so what you have to. When your kids do good you buy them jewels. Bang and Bajit buy their own tools to keep getting wealthy. Big when I sell on my one piece, nobody watch on me clocks clean. Soon start supply Walgreens. Stocks large when you plant trees. Them fields them know that for burger go up on the mummer. You and you and you and you and you, sir. And it's a baker me bill from a puller. Send me a dispensary, supplying them with good earth. Acres over markets. Link me wife when me want sex. Cause when side girl breed up, child support that lead up. Farming over flossing, investment over profit. Inheritance for me seeds up. Me alright being mean. With me little butter pan and me day upon this struggle. Nothing I want but me just a hold me calm. Me nah go bust no gun, no drugs, me nah go smuggle. I'm not alone but I'm feeling lonely. Judas with the love is in the man go down and bony. Not me, I'm a blessed child. Father God approve me file so them can't erase me smile. No money, no debt, Papa him take away himself from me, moon a big trouble. But me never afraid, me clap, me never let that shoot me down in a the muddy pool. Talk all you want, but we still a press along. Say instead of crucify, we start check your own ways. You'll see, you're not without a flaw. So make the whole of we humble ourselves in at this sight of the Lord. I now watch no fears at all. King Jesus on me guide, I ain't the by me.
put the pride aside. Whoa, 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 whoa. If you say you got yourself, don't be contrary. Amen, amen. I'm just like a rose that grew from concrete. It blossom and it bloomed under great defeat. And with them eyes wide shut, they can see, yes, that Jesus work it out complete. Ooh, so why should I fear when the one who colored the skies and send the rain is here, yes. I'm not afraid, no. Discover my way to love, send the blessings from above. I now watch no fears at all. King Jesus on me guide, I'm there by my side. So my victory will never be denied. And they won't ever see me fall. King Jesus on me guide, me dash up in me pride. Just listen me and put the pride aside. Whoa, 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 whoa. If you say you got yourself, don't be contrary. Amen, amen. And if you say you got your fear, don't be contrary. Amen, amen. And if you say you got your love, don't be contrary. Amen, amen, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My.
All right, hello everyone. I'm back. I'm back. I know this is well anticipated, but I just want to say that our judges need a little bit more time to deliberate for the simple fact that our debaters did extremely well. So the margins are very tight right now, and they have a very difficult job of finding out who our winners really are this afternoon. So please bear with us, be a little bit more patient as our judges try to get it together. All right, so thank you so much for your patience.
I'm way up with him, way up with him, way up with him, yeah. You could tell them, say, I bet you don't know I was a bastard. To tell you the truth, I was born in shame. If you call my name, I couldn't answer. I had no legacy and no inheritance to claim. But that's not the end of my story. So don't you chuck me off on a shelf, cause I encountered the King of Glory. And him says, Sammy, me watch you for myself. So him clean me up, turn me round, lift me head, fix me crown, love me right, grace amount. Me not last, no one come, show me off, call me son, change my name, bless me song. Now the blessing can't turn down. So me have to boast, my daddy is a king, so I am a royalty, yeah. It no matter what you say about me, cause you never ever get him to agree. I'm way up with him, way up with him, way up with him. I don't stress too much about my problems, and to tell you the truth, I've got quite a few. Cause one man alone I know can solve them, and there is really nothing that he can do. If we talk about sin, I was the chiefest, and people put me off on the shelf. But I encountered a love that's the realest. And it says, Sammy, me want you for myself. So him clean me up, turn me round, lift my head, fix me crown, love me right, grace abound. Me no last, no one found, show me off, call me son, change my name, bless me song. Now the blessing can't turn down. So me have a boss, my daddy is the king, so I am royalty. You better believe it, my father is a king, so that means I am royalty. Oh yeah, my daddy is a king, so I am a royal. And guess what? I'm way up with him, way up. I'm seated way up with him, yeah. Let me tell you about royalty. Favor undeserved,
Okay. Hi. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Just check in. Because party done, people want to get in bed. So, greetings and salutations, one and all. My name is Fabian Thomas. I had the distinct pleasure of sharing time and space with Mrs. Nadine Sinclair and Mrs. June Thompson as my fellow judges. And I was tasked with being the head judge, the chief judge. And it was a pleasure and a delight. You made us work. You made us work. And with the COVIDity of it all, we judged the first round via videotape. Did the judging. I think it was 6 people. 4 made it through. They were sent some comments and feedback. And then originally when we got here this morning, the 2 people were going to be virtual, but they made it here. So that was good. We got to see actual real live debating. So we're glad for that. So I want to start by congratulating the 4 finalists. Clap on yourselves and clap them. So on any list, anywhere in the world, when people are asked to state their greatest fears, public speaking is always in the top 5, often in the top 3. This is anywhere in the world, any age group, it don't matter. Public speaking terrifies people. So big up on yourself for coming up here. What makes a good debater? So arguments, reasoning, supported by facts, that has a flow, that engages the audience in a conversational way. So it shouldn't sound like a speech. And I'm glad I felt really good, because in the videos, a lot of people were reading, so we said, don't read so much. So big up on yourself. All of you took that note really well. There was far, and maybe because you were talking to a camera, because you had people, you actually spoke to us. That's a major thing with the debates. You have to find a way to engage the people listening to you as a speaker, but also using your voice as an instrument, in addition to the content of your presentation. So what are the facts? What are the things I have written down, the research? But how do I use my voice to communicate that to an audience or group of listeners? So that involves things like now tone, clarity, enunciation and pronunciation, which are 2 different things. Inflection. So some people, and some of us in Jamaica do it, everything sounds like a question. Because the inflection, upward inflection at the end, but it's not a question. When people listen to that, it confuses them. Or what we call breath pauses or sense pauses, where there may not be punctuation on the page, but to communicate the full meaning, you pause slightly. So I did radio at Carmack when I went to UWI, what seems like 100 years ago. And we were taught to put right into the thing what they call sense pauses or breath pauses. And sometimes there was no punctuation there, but for the flow of what we were saying, you paused, took a breath here, and then kept going on. Debaters also need that. You know why? Because you're telling us a lot of information. So you have to break it up now with some natural breath pauses, or even some slight pauses for us to assimilate what you just tell me. When quoting statistics and things, you have to slow down. As per the UNESCO study, so also that our brain can assimilate that. Sometimes you are familiar with the information, but the audience isn't. You want to give them a little time to drink it in. Speaking of pacing, I naturally speak fast as well. When you're presenting to an audience, you have to consciously slow it down a bit so that they can hear you, that their brain can catch its breath to follow you. Pitch. So some people have a voice that sounds like this, which means that argue about this for a while, I'm going to want to thump you in your throat so you can stop sounding like that. But if I say a sound, you have to work with it. So you have to find ways to slow it down, deepen the flow of your voice, to be conscious of that. Some people speak very nasally up in their nose like this. That is also very hard to listen to for a long period of time. Some people talk like this, and them talk slow. So you have to now manage that as a speaker. But that's what your voice sounds like. Naturally, you have to practice. There's actually ways to practice to shift that sound so you are actually manipulating and using your voice. Great topic. Very, very relevant topic, which I found can be a help but also a hindrance. Because sometimes it helps if the audience confused. Then we judge you less harshly. But it was something very, very, very relevant to our time. So I found it engaging, and I also found it refreshing that as young people, you are getting to present and share this with us. So, we tally up the score then, and we have somebody getting the highest score. We also are doing a best speaker announcement and best rebuttal. So I must read out all three scores, Ms. Michelle. Which one I must do? Which one I must do first? Best speaker, best rebuttal, or best overall? Audience choice. Which one you want to hear first? Speaker first. Best speaker first. So we're doing first, second. Oh, could they? I'm going to get, remember one email that said that, we need to get an email. So first, second, and third. Okay, cool, no problem. So let's do that first. First, second, third, and then best speaker, best rebuttal. Start with third. So Miss doing what you said. Do the overall, do the sectional ones first and then the overall. All right. So for best rebuttal, we have a tie. We don't know where the organism we're going to find extra prize from, but that's not our business. Right, judges? And a few business. So for best rebuttal, we have a tie. And this tie was interesting. So one person ended up with the score they got on the strength of their presentation. What they did with their voice, their wit, and their humor. And the other person got it on the strength of the substance of the rebuttal. Everybody hear this, the subtle difference? So the tie for best rebuttal is Dijonais and Akishma. So tie for best rebuttal, Dijonais and Akishma. Or you can present them now. Yes, we forget his awards and thing. Okay. So they're gonna come up and get prize. You doing the presentation now? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. All right, so let's clap them again. So remember, the crucial thing about a rebuttal is identifying the thing you're rebutting, but also rebutting it with what? So I am discounting your argument by saying this or repeating this. So you said so and so and so and so, however, so and so and so and so and so and so and so. So time for best rebuttal. Dijonais Fagan from Knox College and Akishma Payne from the Hampton School. Congratulations, ladies. And for best speaker. So best speaker now, twins, substance of presentation, management of the information, communication of the information, facility and understanding of the information, and then the tools of the communicator presenter. Passion, confidence, leaning as little on the paper as possible, walking away with the Best Speaker Award, and this was unanimous with all three judges, Akishma. There's a point like 3/4 way the presentation where Kishma was on fire. It's like she moved from the podium a little bit and she got down into the argument, and I said, yeah man, she was familiar with the information, she was passionate about it, and as she warmed up, that came out. So congratulations, Akishma. In third place, coming to us from Wolmer's Trust High School for Girls, Kalia Hardware. Oh, okay. All right, so. Oh, this one? Come get Daniel MC where. Come stand up this side. Come up here, Daniel. Get a mic and come. Share that information? So Daniel's going to fill in the gap. Presenting the rebuttal award was Mrs. Mullins?
Yes.
Right.
And now presenting the third, second, and first is Mrs. Nadine Sinclair. Yes.
It's okay, they got hers already?
I think, yes, she did.
Oh, you presented the kid already?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh. Should we double back a bit? Oh, yeah. It's kind of a moot point now. So guide me. So guide me. Okay. All right, so we're doubling back. We're going to do the presentation to fourth place. Since there's stuff up here labeled fourth place. So in fourth place, coming to us from Muschett High, Alexander Green.
Oh, I can't hear you. You have to come in, you have to speak in the...
In fourth place, from Muschett High, Alexander Green. In second place, coming to us from Knox College, Dejane Fagan. Congratulations, Dejane. Clap her again, clap her again. I wonder who first place is.
You know, I don't have a clue, you know. Not even the slightest.
And from the Hampton School, walking away with first place, Akishma Payne.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that would conclude our presentation of awards. So once more, I'd like to congratulate every single one of our finalists here today. You all did an excellent, 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 excellent job. I would also like to commend a very special commendations to our one male in the lot. It is very difficult for young men to come up here and do these sorts of things, so I really would like to commend you for that. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing the curtains down on our event here today. So at this time, to do our acknowledgement, I would like to invite Dr. Michelle Douglas Campbell, Executive Member of the National Child's Month Committee, to give us our acknowledgement.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. What an awesome experience it has been as we were engaged by some of our nation's most brilliant minds as they debated a very relevant and quite fitting topic as we continue to observe Youth Month and navigate the effects of COVID-19 and the impact it is having on our youths and on the education system. Please join me in giving a big, big round of applause to all our young people across the island of Jamaica as they so bravely adjust to what is now considered the new norm. A big, big round of applause. Let me hear you here in the physical space and also in the virtual space. Big up to all our young people. It is indeed unprecedented times, and even as adults, we are seeing this. Miss Moderator, the chairperson of the National Child Month Committee, Dr. Pauline Mullins, our patron, Mr. Douglas Orain, CDJP, our sponsors, judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here in the physical space and those who have joined us on the virtual platform. by way of the NCMC Facebook page and the Institute of Jamaica's YouTube channel. Young people, everyone, a pleasant good afternoon. The hosting of this prestigious event could not have been made possible without the input, support, dedication, and hard work of a number of people. And we'd like to spend this time to acknowledge your extreme contribution and to share that we are indeed grateful. To our moderator from the Immaculate Conception High School, Miss Danielle Cox, who so eloquently guided the proceedings with such engagement, humor, and much flair and excitement. Thank you. So well done. I look forward to seeing you and your colleagues in the future as you become professional women for Jamaica or wherever you go. I'm sure you will all do well. We extend deep appreciation and gratitude to our lead sponsors, Grace Kennedy and the National Baking Company Foundation, for their continued support and meaningful contribution over the years. A big thank you, and thank you for your support and the impact that you are having on our nation's children. To our title sponsors of this year's Youth Forum, the JMB Joan Duncan Foundation, thank you for partnering with the National Child Month Committee in hosting this timely and wonderful debate competition. Don't you agree? Wasn't it a wonderful debate competition and so timely? We do look forward to partnering again with the JMB Joan Duncan Foundation in the future. To our patron, Mr. Douglas Orain, the patron of the National Child Month Committee, who over the years have been so committed, so dedicated to the well-being of our nation's children. His passion for this committee and his passion for the children, the young people of Jamaica, cannot be denied. We thank you, sir. Mrs. Kim Mayer, Chief Executive Officer of the JMB Joan Duncan Foundation, for her greeting and her charge, challenge, and encouragement to our students, and not only to our students, to us as adults as well, to strive towards excellence. To our distinguished judges, Mr. Fabian Thomas, our Chief Judge, Mrs. Nadine Sinclair, and Mrs. June Thompson. Thank you so much for so ably adjudicating the debate competition. It was indeed a tight one, and I know that you all had a lot of work to do seeing the product that came out of this competition. Thank you also for the lessons imparted to our debaters. I'm sure they were well received and they will be used in the future. Now, to all the schools that participated in this debate competition, to the principals, the teachers, coaches, students, and of course the parents, thank you all for the time and the preparation that went into the submission of each and every entry. Each entry was very good. Give them a round of applause. Without the participation of the schools and the students, this debate competition could not have been made possible. To our 4 finalists, please start to applaud them before I even go any further. You are all winners. You have come up on top above all the so well presented debates or entries that made it into this competition. Well done, Miss Kalia Hardware, Miss Dejanay Fagan, Miss Karishma, and Mr. Alexander Green. Give yourselves a round of applause as we continue to applaud you as well. Job well done. You articulated so well. You delivered so well. And you were on point with the topics. I was engaged I was fascinated. I was so happy to have had the experience to share in this. To our winners, wow. As I said before, they are all winners. And we so understand how hard it was to choose a first, second, third, and fourth place. But you all did so well. To Miss Lorena Escorch from the Immaculate Conception High School for rendering prayer, we thank you. Our students, Miss Tashtika Sang, Miss Joanna Prince, Miss Joina Prince, and also recording artist, Mr. Nigel Hector, thank you for keeping us entertained. I know I was dancing and singing along to those entertainment pieces, excellent pieces from our young people. Thank you so much for keeping us entertained. To the organizing committee of this year's Youth Forum debate competition, led by Mrs. Michelle Golden Hilton. An excellent job, Madame. Thanks to all the members of your team for their hard work and dedication. This was indeed a successful event. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, man, a very successful event. Despite the background issues and everything, it was indeed an excellent event. We could not have done this, especially in this time, this era, COVID, without the technical team. Delivering to a virtual audience needs the support and guidance of the technical team. And this was led by Mr. Jeff Clark. And we thank you so much for leading your team so that we could deliver to our online audience. To our photographer, Dexter Smith, and his team, thank you so much. The National Child Month Committee caters to all young people, and that includes those who are physically challenged, or the hearing impaired, or the visually impaired. Today we had with us, affording the opportunity to those of the deaf community to engage and be a part of this event, Miss Donette Ledford and Miss Marvisha Chin, our sign language expert. A big, big thank you to you both for being with us and for allowing us to engage with our deaf community. We say a big thank you to the host of this event, Youth Forum 2021, the Institute of Jamaica. You continue to give support to the National Child Month Committee, and we are forever grateful to you. Come on, applaud the Institute of Jamaica. To everyone who made this event possible, whether near, far, behind the scenes, before the scenes, we all thank you so much for your support to this debate competition. Last but by no means least, because this event could not be made possible without you. To our great audience, both in the physical space and also who joined us online in the virtual space, thank you for sharing in this event. Thank you for being a part of this experience. Thank you for your support. Without you, this event could not have been possible. Until next time, walk good and keep safe. I thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, there is nothing more that I could say or do to make this event any more than what it already was. Again, we want to thank each and every single one of you that was here to make this possible. Again, to our debaters, thank you so very much. You guys did excellently, and I'm looking for great things coming from each and every single one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure being your MC today. My name is Daniel Cox, and I do pray and hope that you will enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon. Thank you.
Well, Daniel said there's nothing that she could do. Of course not. But there's something that we can do, that we want to do. On behalf of the National Child Month Committee and all our debaters, we want to say thank you so much for doing such a fantastic job. You did very well, and we are very pleased. Do enjoy. Thank you.
But I receive it, not lucky, I'm blessed.
It's more than a feeling, more than the blessings, yeah. I want a new experience, strengthen my senses. Like a veteran, I wanna see mysteries. Draw me in closer, Lord, just like a chain reaction. When I give you devotion, yeah, you're taking me higher again. Father, I say, I'm ready, 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 ready. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wherever you are, I want to have an encounter. Wherever I go, I want a meeting. I wanna see you in all your glory. Encounter, encounter, encounter. Visit me again, again. Father, visit me again, again. That my life would change forever. Visit me again, again. Whatever you want to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. What you dey want you to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Walelelele, walelelele, whatever you want to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. It's the way that we walk, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. It's the way we feel talk, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Walelelele, walelelele, encounter, encounter. I know you're not sleeping, Father, I'm knocking. Won't you give me a response, yeah? I want to know all about you. Like a diligent seeker, I'm after your kingdom. Draw me in closer, Lord, just like a chain reaction. When I give you devotion, yeah, you're taking me higher again. Father, I say, I'm ready, 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 ready. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wherever you are, I want to have an encounter. Wherever I go, I want a meeting. I wanna see you in all your glory. Encounter, encounter, encounter. Visit me again, again. Father, visit me again, again. That my life would change forever. Visit me again, again. Whatever you want to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. What you dey want you to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Walelelele, walelelele, whatever you want to do, Yahweh, Yahweh, it's the way that we walk, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. It's the way we feel talk, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Walelelele, walelelele, encounter, encounter. Wherever you are, I want to have an encounter. Wherever I go, I want a meeting. I wanna see you in all your glory. Encounter, encounter, encounter. Visit me again, again. Father, visit me again, again. That my life would change forever. Visit me again, again.